You ever feel like you don't recognize the world around you anymore? Don't you miss the good old days when things made sense? When there were 2 genders, 1 god, and 0 minority superheroes? Back to the days of white picket fences, small mom and pop shops, and no one forcing you to be nice to commies, sodomites, and heathens. I'm Francine Fenster, former Hobby Lobby sales associate, rejected Amazing Race applicant, and of course, here with the permission of my husband. A vote for me is a vote to bring back the days when things made sense, when we made real music, when men could be men. Back to when you could have your daughter lobotomized if she was looking at Doris Day too long. I know some of you parents out there know what I mean. So this election day, vote Francine Fenster. And let's go back together.
This message has been paid for by Lobbyists for Lobotomies, the Richard Nixon Library, and James Woods.
You ever feel like you just don't recognize the world around you anymore? Don't you miss the good old days when things made sense? Back when there was no centralized government. Women knew their role, and no one could force you to let Jews into your home. I'm historical reenactor #1 Mel Gibson fan and #2 Uncle Zebediah Johansson. A vote for me is a vote to go back to the real great days. Good old colonial sense. Mask mandates? Blasphemy! Fact! Plagues are just God's way of reminding you to protect your maidenhead. Gun restrictions? Hogwash! A blunderbuss to every home, and to every home, a blunderbuss. Dancing? So vote Zebediah Johansson, and let's make our future into history.
This message has been paid for by antique dealers with a back room of racist shit, the Committee to Footloose the Nation, and your grandparents. Yes, your grandparents.
You ever feel like you don't recognize the world around you anymore? Or anything else? Don't you miss the good old days? When these lands knew no human name, and the only tongue spoken was that of the monsters that roamed these hills. I'm Xandor, the unknowable former person. Vote for me, and I promise to bring us back to a time before knowledge, when unspeakable horror and unending chaos was all that was, when all that existed was at the whims of the elder gods. And unlike now, we were truly free. So this election cycle, carve my symbol into your ballot taker's forehead. Vote Xandor, and together we will dive into the black waters of terror that exist at the outskirts of your subconscious.
This message has been paid for by the Interdimensional Druidic Council, people who did DMT and never came back, and the concept of dread.